Welcome to a very special Nerd on Nerd with me, Ellie Kempster.
And me, Liam Underwood. First, there was Iron Man. Then, The Incredible Hulk. Then there was Iron Man 2.
Are you going to list all the Marvel films?
Then there was Thor. Then there was Black Panther. And finally, the film that we're here to talk about today, there was Avengers: Infinity War.
Yep. And that concludes this episode of Nerd on Nerd. If you want to get in contact with us...
I was counting how many films there were. There was 18. This is the 19th, I believe.
Cool.
So...
Good job, Liam.
10 years in the making to get us here.
Yep. Oh, before you say anything else, Liam...
Yeah, go on.
Listeners, if you have not seen Avengers: Infinity War, don't listen to this episode. It should be fairly obvious from the fact that this is an episode titled, like, Avengers: Infinity War, but we're going to spoil the shit out of this film for, like, an hour. So don't listen if you haven't seen it.
That's really smart, because, like, this is definitely a film where there's a lot that could be spoiled.
Yeah,
So much.
Yeah, if you... Yeah, oh, God, yeah.
But I was doing my preamble before we got to it.
That's fine, sorry. I just wanted to put in a spoiler thing.
No, it's cool, but you interrupted my preamble.
That's a shame.
It is. So, did you see the first Iron Man in cinema?
Yeah, I've seen every Marvel film in cinema.
Did you think, when you watched the first Iron Man film, in 10 years' time, you'd be seeing Infinity War?
No, not specifically Infinity War. But we knew it was all ramping up to something, right?
I mean, I don't know if we can say we knew. I think there were hopes, but I think a lot of it was based off of the success. Like, if Iron Man had tanked, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So they laid the groundwork, but, I mean, I don't think it was probably until the first Avengers film that these started becoming bankable, if that makes sense.
I'm not sure if I know what you mean by bankable.
So at the moment, right, you know, if Marvel puts out a movie, that movie's making money.
Yeah.
I think even after the first Avengers, they were still figuring shit out. But the first Avengers film was them going, right, we kind of have an idea here. We know what to do to make money. We know that we can, like, bring these things together and then separate them again and then bring them back together later on. And I think... Hang on, let me do some counting.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The last 4 Marvel movies for me, so that's Black Panther, Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yep.
Black Panther, important. I didn't necessarily love it as much as everyone else, but I get its importance. But all 4 of those, I'd say Marvel pretty much killed it, especially at the box office.
Yep.
Doctor Strange even, was fine.
I think realistically, if you go back through the films,
yeah,
there's not many that didn't kill it at the box office.
No, but I think...
There's, like, Thor 2 or 3.
Yeah. Which one?
Or both. Dark World?
That was 2. Ragnarok was 3.
Oh, right. I keep thinking there's 4 Thor films for some reason.
Nah.
And then, like, Iron Man
2.
2 was not great.
I think even the first Thor, because it was a bit of a gamble at the end of the day.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it still killed it. Like, I think most people enjoyed Thor 1.
Oh yeah, I really did, but it was a risk.
I think because that was like Marvel testing whether magic would work in that universe, even though it's sort of not magic. Doctor Strange is the real test of that.
Yeah.
But that was them being like, can we go a bit weirder?
And I think even like Captain America, the first Avenger, was a huge risk. I almost feel like I think now they've 100% they've got the character down, but I kind of feel like Captain America was just them being like, we can't have the Avengers like Captain America. Let's just get a film out there that gets this character in this universe.
Yeah.
That's just how it felt to me watching it. I quite liked the film, but I just remember at the time being like, that's a weird choice.
What, for a character to do?
No, for Marvel to be like, we're doing essentially like a World War II movie.
Got you. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, with a superhero.
Yeah, that's fair.
And also that subtitle, The First Avenger, is probably why I think that they deliberately did it leading to, like, they were like, we need to get this out of the way so we can have the Avengers.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, 2 out of 3 of Cap's films have basically been, like, furthering the Avengers story.
Yeah.
If you think of, like, Captain 1 setting up the idea of the Avengers.
Yeah.
Captain 2 doesn't super, except it has all that stuff with S.H.I.E.L.D. shutting down. So I guess even then, like, pretty much all the Captain films are basically, like, side Avenger films.
Yeah. I kind of would like to just see Captain America have his own story.
I'm good. I don't particularly care about Captain America.
Do you not?
He's one of the least interesting characters.
I like what they're doing with him at the moment, where he's, like, all rogue and shit.
Yeah, see, that's more interesting. But, like, the stereotypical Captain is the, like, goody two-shoes guy. I mean, like, First Avengers already went off book for Captain America, where it was like, oh, this Captain uses guns, and then like has kept using guns, which Captain in the novel, like graphic novels, does not do.
Yeah, he's still pretty goody two shows in the first.
He is. He's still the like, I'm the golden god of everything, and everyone should do what I do because I'm the good guy.
And the Winter Soldier is him kind of losing that innocence, or maybe not innocence, that naivety.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when the first Avengers came out, I think we had a discussion about it, and I was saying how nervous I was at them like having so many characters in one film, being able to pull it off.
Yeah, I think that was everyone's fear with the Avenger films.
Yeah, and now you're like at Infinity War, where it's how many characters?
Yeah, it's all but 2 characters.
It's a shame that those 2 weren't in it.
I still don't understand why they weren't.
No, it seems odd to me.
Yeah, like I could maybe understand Ant-Man in terms of like, I think it's ridiculous that he's not in it, but I could sort of understand in terms of like if they were like, oh, Paul Rudd was doing something else, we just couldn't get him.
Yeah, but like, this is like this Marvel money, and he's going to have been signed into some huge contract.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it just seems weird.
Yeah, and especially then, like, Hawkeye.
You're sitting there and you're like, oh, you know. They didn't get him for it, so I'm assuming that... like I think we all thought that the next Ant-Man film, which is taking place in between this Infinity War and the second film that is going to...
Avengers 4, essentially.
But for some reason, the Ant-Man that's happening in the middle happens before Infinity War.
Yeah. And so before we have the next Avengers, we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, and we've got Captain Marvel, and both of them are set before Infinity War. Captain
Marvel I get.
Yep.
Because she's clearly going to be a core part of the next film, and they're setting her up.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. But then, like, Ant-Man, why are we not getting a... because I think it'd be cool to see a film where, like, Ant-Man isn't trying to save the world after all the bad shit happens in Infinity War. He's just trying to, like, still be a hero in a world where 50% of the population have vanished.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be such a cool film to see.
But... see, okay,
I'm not going to let it cripple what I think of Ant-Man when I watch it.
No, but here's why they maybe wouldn't do that, right? Because clearly what happens in Avengers 4 is going to undo that huge 50% thing.
Which would then make the Ant-Man film irrelevant.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and that's the only reason, because that's the thing, right? That's almost what I had to say before Infinity War, because... you can't make it after Infinity War and not address the fact that 50% of everyone's gone.
Yeah.
But also then doing it would undo everything that you see in that film, potentially. Yep. I mean, we don't know how they're going to resolve it, but... I mean... you know, I would put money on...
we don't know how they'll resolve it, but we know that it is going to be resolved with that 50% not being gone.
Exactly.
Which is one of my issues, which will come up later, Liam, when we talk about our issues.
Yes. What's been your favourite Marvel film so far?
That's a tricky one, because I like so many of them.
Yeah.
I guess maybe Guardians?
Really?
Yeah. Why?
It's good. It's probably like top 5 for me, but not favourite.
What's your favourite?
The first Avengers.
Oh, yeah, really?
I really liked... I just like the way they pulled it off. It's
impressive they pulled it off.
It is, and I just don't know if it... my my favourite stuff with this is seeing these characters interacting with each other.
Yes, I do. Yep.
And the first Avengers did that element really well.
Yeah, and the first Avengers didn't rely on that, which is the film you want to see, which I'm very glad they're not doing.
Yeah, but I've always said they'll never do the film that I would most like to see.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah. But I think my second favourite is probably Spider-Man: Homecoming.
That doesn't surprise me.
It still has my... it still has my favourite scene from any Marvel
film. I get.
What
do we do? We can't. Can we spoil that? Maybe not. Let's just not, because we don't need to. But I know what scene you're talking about, and listeners that have listened to our Spider-Man episode,
will also know.
And it is a really good scene.
Exactly.
Should we talk about Infinity War?
Not yet. My third favourite was Iron
Man.
Man.
No, we're not doing this.
No, what I wanted to ask you is what your least favourite is as well.
Probably Thor 2.
Okay. Have you rewatched that at all?
I haven't, but I think that's why it's my least favourite. Yeah. I don't feel the need to go and rewatch it.
I do want to go and rewatch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's relevant because it has Infinity Stones in it, right?
Yep. It has the Reality Stone.
I don't remember coming out of it being like, holy shit, what a great Thor film.
Yeah.
And now that we've had Ragnarok as well, like...
this is what almost annoys me, right? Is that it feels to me with Ragnarok, they've finally figured out how to write Thor as a character.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm very sceptical that we're going to get another Thor film.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I heard someone say that it feels like the kind of template that Marvel are doing are the big heroes almost get like 3 solo films and they get chucked into the Avengers, but they don't really get more than 3 solo films. You had 3 Captain Americas, 3 Iron Mans, 3 Thors, and those are like your original lineup if we don't include the Incredible Hulk because
they're too scared to do a solo film with him.
And I think they could. I think
they could.
With Mark Ruffalo, they could do something really good.
But everyone is so jaded to the idea of a Hulk film.
I'm not.
I know you're not. You're broken.
I'd be well up for it.
I know. I'd go and see it, but I think the issue is like there is an innate fear of doing a Hulk film because Hulk films have all been bad.
But he's not bad in the non-Hulk films that he's been in.
No, he's not.
I kind of want to see Liv Tyler back as well.
Yeah?
I really like her.
Yeah, no, she's really good.
And it's one of the things that kind of... I don't know. I don't know if I feel strongly enough to say it bothers me. But it feels like they've done like a couple of like weird relationship things with Hulk. So you've obviously got like Betty Ross, who is his main squeeze, right?
Yeah.
And she's only in The Incredible Hulk, then never even mentioned again as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
Then they tried to like introduce this weird Black Widow relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy it.
Why?
It just feels unnecessary.
Oh yeah, but you can't be looking at films and being like, this is unnecessary, because then like half of all movies would just up and disappear.
I don't know. And then I might be misremembering, but I'm sure I've seen him be flirtatious with like someone else in like Thor Ragnarok maybe or something.
Possibly. I don't remember if they had a romance sort of subplot for him in Ragnarok.
I don't know.
If they did, it would have been a minor thing.
But yeah, I think my least favourite is Doctor Strange.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Thor 2?
Yep.
Iron Man 2?
Both of those I never really minded. I know a lot
Iron
of
Man
people
3?
actively disliked. No, I didn't mind that. I think with Iron Man 3, a lot of like the comic fans were really butthurt that they ruined a character. But because I have no familiarity with the comics at all, I didn't really have that reaction to it.
I mean, it's also a bullshit storyline in the film, but that is one of the reasons it annoyed me, was that they ruined a character.
Yeah, I mean...
But it's also, like, not a particularly interesting twist.
Yeah, no, I didn't really particularly like the twist, but I wasn't like, oh, they've wasted that character like, on top of that.
They did waste that character.
But I thought there was some sort of, like, hint that maybe that character still existed.
There was, but they never picked it up again, did they? So...
Well, they'd have to have done an Iron Man 4 to pick that up, surely.
Yeah, which we're probably not getting.
No, I always wanted them to do the Demon in the Bottle storyline.
They sort of did in 3, a little bit.
Mm. They
definitely dealt more with his alcoholism in 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, never to the degree that it goes in the comic books.
Okay. So before we talk about Avengers Infinity War, I've got just like a couple more questions for you. Who is your favourite Avenger?
Out of the main of who are we counting as Avengers here? Are we including Spider-Man in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Iron Man.
I'd agree with that. And who is your least favourite Avenger?
Captain America.
Really?
I'm not a Captain America fan.
But, like Hawkeye above Captain America?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I'm not coming at it from just the films.
I'm only talking about the films here.
Right. Well, I'm not. So bad times.
Right, so if you were to only talk about the films,
Captain America would be my least favourite, and Iron Man would be my favourite.
So just talking about the films,
Yeah, just talking
Hawkeye
about
is
films,
better
it stays the same,
than
yeah.
Captain America.
There's just more reasons to dislike Captain America if you include everything else, but I still think he's a whiny piece of shit.
Wow, that's a harsh
I mean, he
word.
is. We get a whole film that is Captain America, and it should have been Avengers Civil War, but it was Captain America Civil War, and they tried to make it seem like...
You're so butthurt over that.
It's honestly one of my least favourite things that Marvel did. I think the film's good. It's just such a bullshit waste of the Civil War storyline, because there was no grey area. It was just like, hey, we're making a film with all the Avengers. By the way, Iron Man's a dick now.
I listened back to the Civil War special episode that we did.
I really don't like it.
And so much of it is just you moaning about the fact that it's not an Avengers film.
Oh, that's unusual. Unlike all the other Marvel things where it's you whining about them not doing a film where all the Avengers sit down around a table and just have a chat.
That would be good though, wouldn't it?
No, but you talk about it all the time.
Yeah, because that's something that, should happen.
Yeah, and loads of fans are annoyed about the Civil War thing, Liam.
I think my least favourite Avenger is probably Hawkeye, but I do still quite like him.
He shoots bows real good.
He does. But, it's fine. Okay, not Avengers. Who is your favourite Marvel character?
Liam, we've already spent 20 minutes talking. We've not hit the film yet.
There's so much to discuss.
No, there isn't. Let's talk about the film.
Yeah, well, this is tying into the film. This is my last two questions.
No, I don't believe you.
No, it is, honestly.
You said you had 2 more questions, and now you're doing 2 more questions.
It's the last 2 that I've said that.
No, it wasn't. You said, I've got a couple more questions, and then you asked me 2 Avengers questions, and now you're saying, I've got 2 more questions.
Yeah. So, who is your favourite character?
It's just going to be the same, though.
No, not Avenger. We can't include Avengers.
What's the fucking point?
Who is your favourite character in these movies, excluding the Avengers?
I don't fucking know, Liam. Peter Quill?
Okay, yeah, that's not a surprise.
Who's yours?
Korg.
Who's your least favourite?
I mean, there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, mine's the King of the Dark Elves. Because I don't give a shit about it. Actually, no, it's Bystander 3. Does nothing to the film. What a waste.
Mine's probably Doctor Strange.
More than the Dark Elf King.
Yeah.
You're a twat. Let's move on to the film.
Alright, so Avengers Infinity War. It took Marvel 10 years to get there. It's taken us that long as well.
Yeah.
See, I'm
glad you're aware of that.
I had to drag that intro out, otherwise that quality joke would not have worked. Okay, so Infinity War. Boom. We open, basically picking up straight after Thor Ragnarok ended, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. The Asgardians, not many of them left.
Nope.
And the film, instantly is like, look, here's Thanos. Here's his massive dick. He's going to start swinging it.
Yeah, it does a really good job of establishing how badass Thanos is.
Yeah. And the way they do that is they immediately... Oh, fuck, I remembered who my least favourite character was.
Go on.
I can't remember how to say his name. Idris Elba.
Heimdall.
He's my least favourite. I hate Idris Elba.
Fair enough.
So he died. Hooray. That was good. And
he died and also killed that fan theory that he was going to be one of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, good. And Loki, dead.
Yep. And not dead in
Asterix.
The crazy thing. Well, if they don't make a Thor film, right? If we're assuming that Thor is ending here, then Loki isn't coming back. That is a definite Loki death. If Thor doesn't get another film.
Yeah, well, the other thing, I kind of feel like the fact that they added in that line, no resurrections this time, that's almost them just being like, we mean business here.
Yeah.
That's kind of, that was my impression I took from that.
Yeah, I think it would be a cheap shot if they did resurrect him now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there is a certain level of Loki lying and tricking his way around things, but I know he's done it before where he does a dick move and sort of tricks them at the end.
Yeah.
But this felt very, I don't know, it felt more emotionally right with the way Loki sort of sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
And, legitimately is trying to help Thor.
I heard a terrible theory.
Oh, go on. He's Thanos.
No, it's worse.
Go on.
So, right at the beginning, Thanos beats up the Hulk.
Yeah.
The theory is that's the last time in the film that we actually see the real Hulk. And the rest of the film is Thanos pretending to be Bruce Banner, and that's why he can't get the Hulk to come out to play.
What?
Yeah, it's such a horrible, stupid theory, right?
It doesn't even make sense. You see the Hulk start to come out.
Yeah. It's
Also, if he could shape change into Bruce Banner, he's already super strong. Why wouldn't he just also shape change into the Hulk?
It's horrible theory. I hated
That's
it.
stupid.
I know. So I 100%. I think Loki's gone. They've probably gone to Tom Hiddleston. You've now fulfilled your contract. For you, your watch is over.
Do you think that's how it goes?
Yeah. Some sort of ceremony.
Yeah.
But yeah, what an opening, right?
Yeah, no, it was a bold opening and it worked. And it sort of sets the tone for the film where you're like, here are, the equivalent of gods in this universe.
Yeah.
Just getting their arse handed to them by Thanos.
Yeah. So I don't want to go through the film beat by beat, but I'm just going to set up kind of the plot essentially. Bruce Banner gets sent back to Earth via Heimdall just before he dies, and he's all like, "Oh shit, Thanos is coming," and Thanos comes. That's basically it. Yeah,
I think that's a cool move as well. You get this Bruce Banner going to Iron Man and Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And being like, so Thanos is on his way. We've got time to, we've got to prepare. He's going to come soon.
Yeah.
And then literally, Thanos just shows up. And you're like, oh, okay.
Well, that's the children of Thanos.
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
Yeah.
But they're still pretty badass.
Okay, they are, actually. I like that we get to see the Spidey sense.
Yes, yeah, proper spider sense.
That was cool. Spider-Man...
not the most helpful time that spider sense has ever happened, because, he sees the spaceship, a minute before his friends do, so...
Yeah.
Didn't save him a lot of time, but still cool.
No. And I like that we see Ned, even though it is so briefly.
Yeah.
I just... That was cool. For me, the most wonderful thing about this film is that it feels like, because there's so much history to draw from with all these other films, each character, it feels like, has their own voice and their own vernacular, their own if you were to write these characters, each one feels written very, very in line with everything we've seen so far from them.
Yeah.
And then, any that you disagree with?
Yeah.
Go
on. Peter Quill.
We'll get into that.
Exactly. That's why I didn't want to particularly go into it, because I knew we were going to hit it later. But that is.
And it feels like they've got to the point now where they've written these characters really well, and they've also written how these characters would interact with each other really, really well.
Yeah, it's definitely it definitely works. The Doctor Strange, Iron Man, sort of almost vying with each other.
Yeah, the whole follow the wizard type thing.
Yeah,
just all that sort of stuff worked so well.
Yeah.
Better than I was hoping it would, almost.
Oh, I definitely think so. I think it's... like we said earlier, Avengers was them, testing if they could do a film with multiple heroes.
Yeah.
And that worked. And then Infinity War is them being can we do a film with all the heroes?
Yeah, Age of Ultron was another Avengers film, I think didn't really work.
No, but I don't know if that was for lack of... but by then they'd already established that they could do it. So even if the films in between didn't necessarily work... Yeah. They still had proven that they could make a film where the lead role was basically shared between, 6 people.
Oh, yeah. And now, the lead role in this, really, is Thanos.
Yeah, which is, I think, because one of the issues this film has, which is relevant to this, is, I don't even know if it's an issue, because I didn't particularly mind it, but there definitely were points where it felt like you were watching 3 different films.
Okay.
Which is, so you have because you've got the Thor story and what's going on with the Asgardians, right? Yeah. And then we cut to Earth and we get the story with Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man. Yeah. And then you cut across to the Guardians meeting up with Thor, and you're like, okay, there's 2 side stories, 2 stories going on here, which works. Yeah. And then you get Captain America thrown in, and you're like, okay, we're starting to get 3 different viewpoints where you're watching 15 minutes of just one character or one of those groups. And I didn't think it was bad, but there definitely were moments where I was like, I kind of want to see what's happening to the other people now. Yeah. And I shouldn't, because this is all one film. It should all just be this film.
So I've seen this film twice now.
Yeah.
On my first viewing, I felt similar in that I liked the Thanos stuff that we got, but whenever we went to Thanos, I was always like, I want to get back to seeing these heroes bouncing off each other. Like, I was so enjoying, like, the Iron Man and the Peter Quill sort of verbal sparring, and I was enjoying seeing, like, Thor with Rocket Raccoon, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That I was just kind of eager for the Thanos scenes to end to get back to that, like, fun stuff. On my second viewing, that was a lot less noticeable. I enjoyed it all a lot more, I think, because I wasn't, like... I mean, the first viewing as well, I was just constantly kind of on edge a little bit, like, fuck, who's going to die next? Who's going to die next? And it was nice watching it again, being like, oh, most of them.
Most of them, but it's all right.
Yeah. So, I get what you're saying, but I would recommend seeing it a second time to see if you still feel that way.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't. But like I'm saying, it's not an issue. It wasn't like I sat there being like, this is shit.
Yeah, but I mean, almost like, no, just to see if you still notice it.
Yeah. We'll see.
Because I came out of this, both me and Kat came out of this film and we were like, it was good, but I'm not sure if I really feel the need to see it again. And literally a couple of days later, we both sort of turned to each other and like, yeah, we need to go see that again. Is your internet gone?
No. What did you want me to reply with?
I don't know.
Both me and Kat felt the need to see it again. Okay, Liam.
Your thoughts on if you need to see it again.
I already said, maybe. I don't know. I'll see it again when it comes out on DVD. I'm not going to rush to the cinema to see it again.
Okay.
But I'm not like you. I don't have a 3-second memory when it comes to films.
Yeah. I see a lot, don't I? So
you see too many, some would say.
Some would say. Okay. What worked for you with this film?
The Thanos stuff. The fact that Marvel have done a good villain.
Right. I mean, it's not the first time they've done a good villain, but...
I think he's the best villain they've done.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I think it's because they spend a decent amount of time with him.
Yeah.
Like, considering, like, we've seen glimpses of him, but we haven't really seen him. And they really spent this film going, right, here's Thanos. Here's how big of a badass he is. Here's his motive. Here's why he's doing what he's doing. And they kind of lay it out in a way that you're like, well, it's madness, but I kind of see why he's doing it.
Yeah. I think that's the key.
Yeah.
Is the fact that he's one of the most understandable villains.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, like, his planet died because there were too many people. So his logic was,
Less
if
people.
half of us had been gone, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So he's because he's in his own head, he is not a bad guy in this film. He is trying to save the universe.
And that's how you write a good villain.
Yeah. They have to be a believable, like, they're doing it for a reason.
Yeah. It's why I also think Vulture in Spider-Man works well.
Yeah, but Vulture does go a little bit overboard on the... Like, I mean, at one point he is just trying to murder a 15-year-old kid.
Oh, yeah, but that kid is getting in his way.
Yeah, but that's not a good... Like,
does he know that he's a 15-year-old kid when he's trying to murder him?
What?
Well, he tries to murder him, right?
Yeah. I'm talking about the end where he definitely tries to murder him.
Okay, well, it doesn't work, does it? Anyway.
Honestly, like, as well, I thought a bit that worked really well in this with Thanos was him and Gamora.
Yeah.
Like, the scene where he effectively has to sacrifice her to get the Soul Stone. Like, that was emotional, even though Gamora hates him and is like, oh, fuck you, you're going to throw me in a pit, whatever, I knew I should have hated you. Like, he's genuinely upset that he has to kill his favourite daughter.
What did we think about the return of Red Skull as well?
So weird.
It was weird, but I liked it.
It's good that it's there. I wish there'd have been maybe a little bit more of an explanation, because he's kind of just like, yeah, I came looking for the Soul Stone, and now I'm a guide.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like, I don't know, it felt a little bit fan servicey. Like, look, here's another one. It did,
but this might just be me being overly optimistic, but I would love for it to just be more of we're reminding the audience that this character's still out there. We haven't forgotten about him.
I feel like maybe
he's
gonna...
back.
I mean, if we theorise that effectively in the next film they're going to have to recollect the Infinity Stones.
Oh, are they?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. If you theorise that, because at the end it's not clear whether, because Thanos doesn't keep the Infinity Stones, does he? Because he doesn't have the gauntlet at the end.
Well, okay, we don't see him with the gauntlet when he's like watching the sunrise at the end, but after he clicks his fingers, because there's one of the things I wasn't sure of. I was like, he clicks his fingers, and then like the gauntlet looks all fucked and destroyed after that. Yeah. And I was like, does he still have the stones that he can use? And he does, because he teleports out of there, presumably using the Space Stone.
True.
So I was like, well, maybe the gauntlet's fucked, but the stones still work.
But then how is the next one going to make sense? Because if he has all the stones, there is literally nothing you can do to him.
Well, let's see what Captain Marvel has up her sleeve.
I'm assuming not 5 more Infinity Stones.
We don't know. We can't guess what's going to happen in the next one.
No, true. But but anyway, so say he doesn't have them, or even if he does, whatever. I reckon there's probably going to be a Red Skull thing in the next film.
Yeah, I hope so.
He's the guide to the Soul Stone. They're probably going to bring him back to be like, where is it?
Well,
and he's like, Thanos has got it.
Like, they haven't necessarily cast a big name to be Red Skull, but they have cast, like, a name.
Yeah.
Do you remember who it was?
It's a guy from The Walking Dead.
Ross Marquand.
Yeah, I don't know actors' names. So.
Yeah, he plays Aaron in The Walking Dead. He's probably in other stuff, but I don't get why they would just cast someone. Why they wouldn't just be like, oh, it's a CGI thing. Let's just get a voice person in. Like, why they would actually cast someone?
Yeah, if he wasn't going to come back, you wouldn't even need to put Red Skull in.
Yeah, exactly.
So assumedly there's going to be something there.
Yeah, which I'm looking forward to seeing because
yeah, it'd be interesting.
He's a good villain. It's a shame that they didn't get Hugo Weaving back for it.
Yeah, but then he was like super adamant, wasn't he? He was like, I'm done.
Yeah, much like Natalie Portman.
Yeah,
which they really should use this opportunity for all of the people that are being difficult about returning, just being like, we don't need them now. They were in the 50%.
Yep.
What bothers me about the whole Natalie Portman thing is it also means that we haven't had more Kat Dennings, and she was so good. Yeah,
well, you just love Kat Dennings.
Oh, I love seeing her bounce around the screen. She has voluptuous lips.
Picture the face I'm pulling at you.
You look quite proud.
Disapproval.
Well, that's not what I was picturing.
What did you like about the film, Liam? Or what worked for you?
Spider-Man. I loved all of the Spider-Man stuff. I actually think might be my favourite superhero.
Yeah, he's really good.
So good. He has that, like, Tom Holland does him so well, where he has that, like, youthful innocence, and like the quips, but also, like, has the most heart-wrenching, brutal scene as well.
Oh god, yeah, that scene is hard.
So good.
It's weird because it's both one of my issues with the film, but also such a good scene that I'm less mad.
Yeah.
It's weird.
My favorite, like I said before, my favorite thing was just seeing the characters like verbally sparring with each other. Like, particularly Tony Stark with Doctor Strange and Peter Quill, and adding those three together was just great.
It is very good.
What did you not like?
The fact that the entire 50% of the population dying is basically spoiled by the fact that we know that there is a Spider-Man film coming out, and Spider-Man is in the 50% that disappear.
See, I knew you were going to say this.
I know, because I've been complaining about it for since we saw the film, and I said how I was going to bring it up on the show. So you did know I was going to say it.
I think it's a terrible hot take.
Why?
Because it's the exact same issue you had with me talking about Batman vs Superman.
No, it isn't.
It is.
Go on, say what you think, because we had this argument already.
Yeah.
And I explained to you why it is different.
Yeah.
And apparently you've just ignored it. So let's do it again.
Right. One of the things, listeners, if you go back and listen to our Batman vs Superman special, you'll hear this. Yep. And you'll have a very long argument about this.
Yes, one
of the things that I appreciated about the film was the fact that it felt like it was building up to something bigger, right? And you were saying, that's ridiculous. You can't judge a film on what might happen next. Yep. Which is exactly what you're doing with this.
No. Now, the difference, Liam... difference, Liam...
Yes.
...is that in Batman vs Superman, you were excited because you said, I think a Justice League film could be really good, and I'm super excited for what they do with it.
Yeah.
There is no might about this. There is another Spider-Man film. In fact, there are 2 more Spider-Man films. Yeah. So mine isn't an issue with what might happen. If this was up in the air, that's what I'm saying. I just wish that Marvel hadn't roadmaps past this point.
Yeah, but...
Because it is ruined. Because, Liam, if they had just gone, we've done one Spider-Man film, then Infinity War happens, and you left this film and you didn't know that there was another Spider-Man film coming, then this 50% could have just vanished. Yeah. It would be the perfect time for them to kill off a bunch of heroes.
Yeah.
This would have been such a bold move for Marvel to make. And instead, the whole scene is ruined when Spider-Man vanishes, and you go, well, I know he's getting another film, so all
of the Guardians vanish, and they're getting another film as well.
It's all of them, yeah, but Spider-Man is like the one I'm picturing. I can't point out all of them because that's just silly, but I'm saying that's the issue, is that we know there are these other films coming out.
Right, but...
And it's not a might. That's the thing that you're ignoring. Yeah, I'm talking about a literal thing that we know is happening.
Yeah, and I'm going to counter that for you.
Okay.
It could be, we get another Spider-Man film. Could be a different Spider-Man.
No, it's Tom Holland. He said he's contracted for 3 films.
Yeah, they could mess around with the contract.
I don't think they could, and I don't think that an actor would be particularly happy if Marvel signed them up for a 3-film contract and then went, lol, JK, we did Infinity War, you're dead.
Yeah, potentially, but Marvel probably have the money to pull that off.
I don't think they do, and I think they would lose a lot of work if actors were just like, cool, yeah, you get hired by Marvel, and then they drop you for 2 films.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a might, Liam. It is a definite.
I agree. I think that we're getting more Spider-Man films and everything.
It's not a think. It's a we know.
But
that's the bit that you're ignoring. It's not a potential. It is a thing that we definitely know is happening.
Yeah, but that doesn't ruin my enjoyment of this film and that scene.
No,
particularly.
It doesn't. This is a fucking amazing film, but it does take away from that scene because
I don't think it does.
Of course it does.
No, that scene still works for me. Just because you know, right, that we get another Spider-Man film. Yeah. That character going through that scene, that emotion, doesn't know that he's coming back.
No, yeah. Oh my God, Liam, I think you're just deliberately missing my point completely.
No, I'm getting your point.
Sometimes I do get confused with us because I'll say stuff, you say stuff, and then I'm like, but Liam's not disagreeing with me, but he is saying stuff in a disagreeing tone, and it's very confusing. Because I'm not saying that scene wasn't emotional, because it was, Liam. I cried when Spider-Man died. I cried when he said, gave Tony the hug. I had a little emotional outburst. I was like, this is horrible. I don't like it. What I'm saying is, you don't leave the film going, oh man, I can't believe Spider-Man's dead, only to have a surprise twist where Spider-Man is alive.
Yeah, but I don't think, even if they hadn't have roadmapped beyond this point, right?
Yeah. I
still think we'd have all come out of this film going, well, in Avengers 4, they're surely reversing that somehow.
Yeah, but it would be an assumption. Then it would be on the same point of you and Batman vs Superman and Justice League, because it would be an assumption we're making. That's the bit I'm annoyed about. It's not even... I'm not... Because you're arguing with it as if I'm, complaining about the film, which I'm not. I'm saying it just detracts from a scene where you kill off 50% of the crew when you know that they're coming back. If it had been a maybe... of course we'd all come out being there's a 99% chance they're all coming back, right? But there would be that 1% part of you that was what if they don't bring them back?
Yeah, but they could still do that.
And this is the shit that me and you have been asking for from Marvel for years. I think since it started, we have had the discussion of how cool would it be if Marvel killed off one of their heroes. Yeah. Now it's pretty much inevitable that at least 3 of them are probably dying in the next film, legit. But
so is that what? Iron Man,
Captain America, maybe Thor.
Okay.
So I think it's probably a definite 2. I think Captain America and Iron Man are dying, but that's what I mean, Liam. Is that it's not, you can't. It's I don't know. You can't kill. It's like if Harry Potter died at the end of a Harry Potter film in the middle.
Okay.
It would lose something because you know he's not gonna die.
Yeah, but equally, I still have that 1% of not being sure.
Oh well, I think you're an idiot then, because I don't think there's any... I think it's a 0% chance that they're going to kill off 50% of the characters, knowing that... I don't know how you think Marvel could pull off getting out of a contract with Tom Hiddleston. Hiddleston? Holland. Jesus Christ.
So have you read any of the stuff that the writers have been saying about Avengers 4?
Yeah, they were told they were allowed to kill off whoever they wanted.
Have you read anything else?
No, go on.
So they basically said Avengers 4 isn't going to do what you think it's going to do, and what's happened in Infinity War has happened, and you should probably start your grieving process now.
Yeah, I don't believe them. That's not real. It'll be... I mean, the comic books do this shit. It'll be either we end up in an alternate universe, the Infinity Stones undo their wish. There's so many ways the Marvel Universe has reset itself, and that is where I think it's going. I think it's going for a soft reset, not a hard reset. I think it's going for the soft reset, setting up new Avengers and all that stuff.
I mean, I think this is the thing. I think we agree that they're going to do something to reverse it. I'm not entirely convinced exactly what they're going to do, and that's what makes me nervous.
It'll just be some bullshit. It'll just be literally it might even be that they go oh, you can only reverse a certain amount of it. But we know Spider-Man's coming back. That's the thing. It's not... they could still kill off a bunch of people, and that would be cool.
Well, they're going to, right? Because
they're not
they're killing 2
Spider-Man.
people off.
Don't trick me into thinking you're killing off Spider-Man when I know you're not. That's the bit that's annoyed me. And it's not even annoyed me. Like, this film is still a crazy high score in my ratings.
Yeah.
It's just that you don't seem to understand what I'm saying. And I want you to understand, because it's not something that's ruined the film for me, like you seem to think it has.
Yeah, no, I just don't get it.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're bringing too much outside knowledge into the film.
Well, that's stupid. That's their own fault.
Potentially.
It's the same thing with a trailer ruining a film.
Yeah,
like spoiling twists in a film.
That.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. It's outside knowledge. Someone edited a trailer, gives away plot points in films, and then when you get to them, like, it ruins jokes in comedies.
Yeah.
You don't go into comedies, have a joke ruined, and then sit in the film going, I'm going to pretend that trailer didn't happen, and I'm going to laugh exactly like I would have if I hadn't seen the trailer.
But we're not talking about trailers. We're talking about you just going, oh yeah, I read a news article that...
No. They roadmapped the films. I didn't read a fucking news article, Liam. They have announced that there are more Spider-Man films.
Yeah, I can't remember what they've called the next one.
I don't know. I'm trying to ignore as much as I can. That was like the one bit of knowledge I had, was that there was one. So it was like I had one bit of knowledge that made that last scene slightly less impactful.
I mean, the way I look at it, they can't continue with 50% of the population gone, because it's just going to put such a weird tone on all of the future movies if they
where everyone's just really sad.
Yeah. So yeah, something has to be done. I just hope that whatever they do is good. What I can't get my head around is how the hell they're going to market the next film.
I don't know. Marvel are pretty good with marketing.
They are, right? But you've either got to be really upfront and be like, all those people are definitely coming back in the marketing, or you have to be really smart with it somehow.
Obviously, but I don't think they're going to come back, like, at the start of the next film or anything.
Okay. That's
my guess. I'm guessing this next film will end with them reversing it.
Right. Because surely we still... do you think there's going to be a scene, sort of like the Wakanda scene in this one, where it is basically everyone fighting?
Yeah, I think that all the heroes in the next film will end up teaming up.
But is that just the living ones, or also the ones that are currently dead?
I think the living ones will all team up. I think we might get a scene. When I say the end of the film, I'm leaving space there for, like, there to be a big final fight.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's probably what they will do.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? I mean, like, in the third act.
Okay.
The third act? Is that when stuff happens? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
third act. Sure.
Should we talk about what we didn't like?
I have.
No, you haven't talked about the Peter Quill thing yet.
Oh, that's true. Do you want me to do that? I can have another rant.
Well, I've got a thing that I didn't like.
Do you want to do yours? Because I just had a massive rant. So
yeah.
You can have yours.
Right. Ellie.
Yes, Liam.
What's the one thing I've been saying that I've been so excited to see?
For fuck's sake. You've desperately wanted Rocket Raccoon to hang out with Iron Man.
And as soon as Thor is with the Guardians and they're like, we're going to split up, I almost just left the cinema because I was like, right, well, I can see where this is heading, and it's heading... Because I remembered in the trailer, they show that scene with Iron Man and Quill.
Yeah, so you were excited because you thought it was going to happen.
Yeah, and as soon as they're like, we're going to split up, and I was like, well, Iron Man hasn't met Quill yet. Oh, right, yeah, okay, Rocket's not going to be there. Honestly, I was nearly ready to leave. I was fuming.
I don't understand your obsession with Rocket meeting Iron Man. Like, Rocket is good. I love Rocket Raccoon. But
I don't know, it's not even Rocket. I just want to see Robert Downey Jr. reacting to a fucking raccoon. It's such a small thing to desperately want. I know.
It's so weird.
It is. It doesn't make any sense. I just want... No. And it doesn't even have to be a long scene. It just has to be him just looking at it like, what the fuck is that? That's all I want.
Oh, Jesus, Liam. Maybe it'll be the post-credit scene in the next one.
Oh, it better be. But yeah, that annoyed me.
Did you have other issues?
Not many, to be honest. I didn't massively buy into the Vision and Wanda. It's close.
Very similar.
Yeah, the Vision and Wanda stuff, I just felt like could have been a bit better developed in the previous movies, maybe.
Yeah, but...
Like they laid the groundwork for it, but I just kind of feel like... I don't know.
I get what you're saying, and I agree, but I do, like... It kind of adds something to the film, though, where it's like... I don't know, it feels like we're sort of seeing snippets of the main heroes in different points in time, and then there's like these other characters who are going and living their lives outside of that. So I get what you're saying, and I agree, but I also think it's quite cool that it does add this element of like well, when you're watching, Thor fucking fight in an arena in space, the other heroes are still doing shit.
Yeah.
And that's, like, exemplified by those two who we've seen in, like, one other film and now...
Or two other... But they sort of start in Age of Ultron, and then they're pretty much a thing by Civil War, right?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it just, But I do get what you're saying, and I do agree.
Yeah. But yeah, as for... I didn't have the big dislike that you're about to rant about.
As a surprise, Liam, you not sharing a dislike I have with a film.
Yeah.
Liam.
Yeah.
Peter Quill...
Oh, here we go.
...acted like a fucking knobhead, and in a very un-Peter Quill way, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's all.
Do you want to expand on that?
Sure. Why, Liam? Why?
Yeah.
Why did he punch Thanos?
Because he was upset.
But why did he punch him at the specific point he did, where they literally had the glove about to come off?
Because he was really upset.
I know that people do get upset.
Yeah.
But that did feel... here's the thing, Liam. Say someone, like, did something really bad to me. Like, something just horrible. I don't know. Say someone, like... I don't know. I can't think of an example. Killed my dog? That seems... So say something bad. Someone did something bad to me, and I wanted to get revenge desperately. But let's say they were armed with, I don't know, a minigun, right?
Yeah.
And then you were there, and you were helping me, and you had gotten to the point where you were literally about to take the minigun out of his hands, and he couldn't stop you.
Yeah.
And the only thing that could stop all of that working was I punched the guy, and he regained control of the minigun and killed us. I think I would have the self-control to be like, I'm gonna wait for you to get rid of the minigun.
Oh, and then you didn't love the dog as much as Quill loved Gamora.
I mean, it's just weird. I get why it happened. It's a plot point, and have taken the glove off.
Fairly standard, but
it felt unquillish to me.
See, I didn't find that.
Yeah, but then you want Rocket Raccoon to meet up with Tony Stark so they can look at each other briefly. So
yeah, I do. I really do.
I don't know. I am aware that is not a viewpoint that a lot of people have been.
I've seen people
online.
whinging about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like on Twitter and stuff. Quite a few people have been whinging about it.
Oh, good. I'm not alone.
No, you're not. But
it just didn't feel particularly Peter Quilly to me. It's not, and again, it's another thing that's not like that's the thing is the issues I had with this film are like issues in air quotes.
Yeah.
Because this film is fucking good.
Yeah.
And things like that aren't going to ruin it. It was just a point where I was like, oh, that didn't particularly feel, I don't know, believable is a weird word to use in a film with space wizards.
Yeah. One of the things I've got to say that I was so impressed by is how they've nailed the scale of Thanos with the special effects.
Yeah.
Like, when his hand picks up Thor's head.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how they did those special effects, but, like, they did such a good job of believably making him, like, 9 foot or however big he is.
Yeah, it's got to be around that, hasn't it?
Yeah, just so well done.
Yeah, that was insanely well done.
Other stuff.
I mean, the whole Thanos CGI is fucking impressive.
Yeah, definitely. Other stuff I liked. Groot meeting Steve Rogers, brilliant.
Yeah.
Can
I just say as well, I still love Teenage Groot.
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah. Do you still hate him?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm kind of done with that.
It's so good.
I'm kind of done with it.
I know. I love moody Teenage Groot.
Nah.
Who just wants to play his video games and not worry about the universe.
Yeah, I know. You probably find that relatable.
Yeah, the tree that can only say its own name. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bond with him.
Exactly. I really also I really like the first Guardians film. Don't get me wrong, but my pet peeve with it is the climax.
Yeah.
And I love that they kind of basically called out how ridiculous that is in this film.
Which bit?
Where Drax is like, tell him about the time you saved the universe with a dance off.
Oh yeah.
And
fair.
and Spider-Man's like in Footloose. It's like exactly like in Footloose. And like and Iron Man's just there like, what the fuck is this shit? That's what I mean. Those are the facial expressions that I live for.
Yeah, you just basically want to see Robert Downey Jr. judging people.
Yeah, I do.
I'm glad we boiled it down to its core.
Yeah, but no, I quite like that they like sort of gently poked a bit of fun at that.
Yeah.
That sort of thing I really dug. I liked sort of the fight stuff. Like, because I think normally with like these sort of movies, you can get quite bored with the CGI fighting.
Yeah.
But I was never bored in any of the fight scenes here.
They kept it quite almost like quick and with more elements being added. Like every time it could have got boring, like either a new hero would show up or you'd switch to someone else who was doing something kind of different.
And that's almost, I guess, the beauty of having so many characters now, right?
Yeah, is they can just be like, cool, we've shown Cap hitting someone with a shield. Let's go look at Thor smashing someone with lightning.
Yeah. I also loved the lady fight. That was so good.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but the woman from Black Panther.
Yeah.
Who's also in Walking Dead. Akayu or something like that, I think.
Yes, that sounds right.
Her line about Wanda was genius. I'm being very careful to not like spoil lines, even though we've said this is a spoiler-filled episode.
You sort of tend to do this usually about this time into a episode with spoilers. Is you suddenly say something and you're like, I'm being careful not to spoil this one thing.
Yeah, I just.
And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, there's just lines that not only, I probably can't do them justice either.
No, you definitely can't.
So I'm kind of like, I'm reminding our listeners.
Imagine
of those
if there
lines.
was a Marvel hero that sounded like you.
What would his name be? Captain
Dickhead?
Olsen. It would be the Incredible Hulk.
Captain No One wants to hang out with this guy because he just sounds really sarky all the time.
So basically, Tony Stark.
Yeah, but people want to hang out with Tony Stark.
Only because he's super rich.
Yep. He's got all the money.
Yeah, so maybe if someone could pay us, I could be the next Tony Stark.
Just imagine the Iron Man suit opening up and your little face being in there.
Oh, that was another thing that didn't work so well for me. Is most of the CGI worked really well, but Bruce Banner in the Hulkbuster.
Yeah, what was with that? There was a weird thing going on where like it seemed very obvious.
Yeah, when the helmet was down.
Yeah.
I did like. I am really enjoying seeing like essentially this Hulk character arc play out in non-Hulk movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
And yeah, that whole like them kind of disagreeing, I thought was great.
Yes.
There's just so much. Another thing that I didn't massively like is it felt weird to me that they would take away Thor's eye in Thor Ragnarok towards the end of Thor Ragnarok, and then like retcon it really quickly in this one, because that's like a huge thing. It just, I don't know, it seemed a bit odd.
It was. I get it in terms of like they probably didn't, or maybe Chris Hemsworth was like, I don't want to walk around another film with an eye patch.
Yeah.
But it did feel a bit like, okay, cool, so it's just solved.
Yeah, exactly. I loved Thor and Peter Quill sort of sharing their life stories.
Yes.
That was good. And Drax was really good as well, as he most
always
often
is.
Yeah.
He's just, Drax is just fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the first time I watched it, I had issues with the pacing, particularly with the Thanos scenes, but I didn't notice in the second time, so it's not really an issue.
Yep.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think there is, really.
Oh,
yeah, okay, one other thing. Ellie.
Yes.
When I talk about cinema in general, what's my favourite thing?
Spending time with your lovely girlfriend.
No, what do I live for when it comes to, like, watching films?
People talking?
No. What's been, like, a key issue that I've had a lot with Marvel in the past?
Bad villains, they don't kill people?
No, I like to be surprised.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
And I can honestly say Avengers Infinity War surprised me.
Yeah.
That ending was so brutal and so unexpected. And I remember it happening and being like, well, I know it's like a 2-hour, 45-minute film, and it does feel like about 2 hours has gone, but it also doesn't feel like enough time to wrap everything up.
Yeah, but you've fallen into this confusing place that I don't understand how you've got there.
Right.
And I don't know, because it feels like you might be wrong about it.
Okay.
Based on how this film ended.
Yeah.
Which is, you had said before, like, that the writers had said the second one isn't going to be like part 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what I had taken from the stuff that had been said was they just basically were not calling it part 2. It's its own film.
Yeah.
But not that it isn't continuing this story.
Right. What I had taken from it was that Avengers Infinity War was going to basically wrap up this phase, okay? Because they've said, like, we can't reveal the title of the fourth Avengers film because it might be a spoiler to this one.
Yeah.
So I went into this film thinking, right, Infinity War, we're probably going to lose Iron Man, we're probably going to lose Captain America. I'm ready for that. And I was thinking Avengers 4 would basically be like subtitle something like The New Avengers, and it would be them like rebooting the Avengers with like Spider-Man.
Right, got you.
And like whoever else was still alive after this. So those were the expectations that I was bringing to this film, and the film just like slapped me in the face with its massive Thanos stick.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't surprising, that end.
Yeah.
But like there was like, I only brought it up because you'd said the whole like, this doesn't seem like enough time for them to wrap it up.
Yeah.
And I'd always gone in with the expectation that this was effectively like Harry Potter 7 or whatever.
That's exactly what I was thinking until... I think that's... Initially, they did say it was going to be Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2. That was the very initial plan. And then they said, no, we're not going to do that. Infinity War is going to be its own thing, and then Avengers 4 is going to be something different.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. I think Infinity War still is the end of the... It's still the end and the start of the next, but it's just there's more crossover between them than you had expected, sort of thing.
The next one, like we said, it has to address and somewhat rectify what happened in this one.
Yeah.
So I can't see how they do that without it essentially feeling like a part 2.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it is going to be a part... I feel like it's going to be a part 2 in all but name.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
In which case, why aren't they just making it a part 2?
Yeah. I am interested to see what the subtitle is.
Yeah.
So that I can be like, oh, that does ruin it. Because I can't imagine it's going to be called, like, Avengers 50% of the population are dead now.
Well...
It would be good if it was.
Yeah. Or like...
Avengers Infinity War followed by Avengers 50% of the population are dead.
If it was like Avengers 4 Thanos' Reckoning.
To be fair, it could be called, like, Avengers the Last 50 or something. Or the Last Half. I don't know.
The Last Stand.
Space War.
There we go, perfect.
I don't know. I'm definitely interested in seeing where they're going with it.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I know what they're doing with some stuff, but there's definitely stuff in there that I'm like, I just now need to know how you're going to solve this.
Yeah. And I still think they're going to have a real tough job with the marketing of it. And I get what you're saying. I just think... see what... I just want to see how they market, because I don't want it to be spoiled through the marketing.
I can't imagine it. They're so good at not spoiling shit through marketing.
I hope so.
Because like they did the whole like editing Thor's eyes in trailers that you didn't know he lost an eye, and that's like such attention to detail. I mean, they could fuck it up because it could get into the wrong hands and just get ruined. Yeah. And so I get it, but I trust them with their marketing at this point.
That's fair. I'm hopeful.
Like, didn't they fucked around with the Infinity Stones in Thanos' gauntlet in the trailers, so you didn't know when he would have them all? Yeah. Which is, I think, like now, I mean, I think even then it was sort of like, well, because I think I had the discussion with, like, some people at work where I was like, where we were all like, well, he doesn't look like he has them all, but they edited out Thor's eye, so... Yeah, exactly.
We've had some correspondence.
Yeah? Who from?
Kat, she emailed us.
What did she say?
She gave her thoughts on Infinity War. She said, a solid 4 out of 5 movie, was concerned the large cast would make the plot messy, but it was handled so well. Thanos is an amazing villain with multiple dimensions. Also still holds up on second viewing and looks even more visually stunning in IMAX. The ending is refreshingly different for a Marvel movie. Although we know a lot of the characters are going to be okay, it's still intriguing to know how they will be saved from their situation. Yep. I've had a really busy day at work and I'm quite tired, which is why I stumbled over some of those words.
No, that's fine. I didn't think you particularly stumbled.
Good.
I think you did. Hey, Liam. Hey, you did good, buddy.
Thank you. I tried really hard.
You did well.
Good.
Did you see it in IMAX then for your second viewing?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So here's the thing, right? The first time we went, we sat there and it started, and I turned to Kat, I was like, is it just me or is it a bit quiet? Like, if there was like a big explosion, it was loud, but just talking, it was like a bit quiet. And she went out and spoke to someone, and they were like, yeah, that's how it's meant to be, which is utter bullshit. There's no way a multi-million-dollar film like this isn't going to have its audio mixed correctly.
No, they definitely fucked up.
Yeah, and it was you could hear it, but like there was lines that we missed because people were laughing or reacting to like a line before, so you didn't hear the next one. We went to IMAX, that was not an issue.
Yeah, no, IMAX is great audio-wise. and visual
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because we had to see it opening night, and our local cinema is greedy, and they would only show IMAX 3D viewings for like the first 2 weeks.
You should have gone to that. IMAX 3D's great.
Cat won't do 3D. So we had to wait for it to
Get her a pair of those glasses that make it not 3D.
She probably still would whinge.
No.
You know what she's like. Little Hitler. Anyway.
The thoughts Liam is expressing are his own.
Okay, little Thanos.
Yeah, okay. I'm only agreeing because that sounds adorable, a little Thanos.
Yeah, and I can see Cat being a little Thanos.
She'd wipe you out.
Yeah.
You'd be the 50%.
Yeah. She'd be like, how do I make my life better? I get rid of 50% of it. Oh, yeah,
You just
that's
crumble
Liam.
into dust.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
I don't think so. I think, well, we need to rate it.
Yeah, but I didn't know if you had any thoughts before we got to that bit.
No, I don't think so. I think I've covered all the points I wanted to cover.
We haven't really talked about all of the characters, though.
Yeah, but I think that's fine. We don't need to.
Do you think all of the characters got a moment?
Yeah, Black Panther's moment is maybe not massive.
What was his moment?
They turned up at Wakanda and he was like, "Hey, let's fight some baddies."
Yeah, but then he got some cool like fight scenes in there.
Yeah, but that's what But like when you look at some of the screen time others were getting.
Yeah.
And it's not even, again, I'm not complaining. It's just so I'd say mostly.
Okay, fair enough. I just liked that we got a lot of little side characters like Shuri, seeing her again, and her actually having stuff to do as well was nice.
Yes, exactly.
Out
of 5?
4, solid 4, like a high 4.
Fair enough. I'm a 4.5.
Yeah, it just missed out on the 0.5 for me. But the only Marvel movie I've ever given a 4.5, well, an MCU movie, is the Avengers, the first one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe if Iron Man had met Rocket, this would have joined it. But, until then, it's lucky it didn't get a fucking 2, to be honest.
I hope that they give you, I hope that online there's, a little scene that someone edits together of Iron Man reacting to Rocket that you then have to try and canonically fit into the MCU because you love it so much.
Well, right, here's why I have hope, okay? Iron Man's still alive, and Rocket's still alive. And we've got a whole fucking movie.
Yeah, I think you're going to get your moment, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
How funny would it be if they don't get that moment, though?
Honestly, the next movie is going to be shit if it because this one nearly was, and the only thing that kept me there was like, right, they've got another movie to rectify this.
Jesus,
I was like when Iron Man nearly dies, I was like, oh fuck's sake, I'm not going to get it. But then it's all fine, it's all good, and they've got a chance. They've got one more chance.
Liam.
I'm going to have a vendetta against Marvel if I don't get this.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Listeners, if you want to get in contact and let us know what you thought of Avengers Infinity War, you can tweet us at nerdonnerd or email us at nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com, or you can Facebook us at facebook.com/nerdonnerdpod, all one word.
Yeah.
Or comment on the SoundCloud, that's the thing.
Yeah, you could even go to YouTube and you could... Currently there's a video live that you could watch that is our Captain America Civil War special.
So, that's how out of date the YouTube is. You could also rate us on iTunes. That's a thing. It would bump us up the rankings slightly.
I haven't checked if anyone's done that in a while.
We'll look for the next actual episode, not the special.
Yeah, I'm looking now, but yeah, you carry on.
Okay. That's it. Those are all the ways. You picked the worst time to tell me to carry on because I was at the end of the list.
We've got no new reviews.
Okay. Any final thoughts, Liam?
Yeah. What's going on with Black Widow's hair?
Bye.
But seriously, it changes every movie. Why?
It does.
Is there a reason?
I don't think so.